You're about to meet Norma Garbo, and we're going to see how this goes.
Hi, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Norma.
Briea.
Nice to meet you, Norma Garbo. And you're?
Briea.
Briea.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to my home. I'm going to show you around a little bit, and then I'll take you into the studio and we can get started.
Awesome.
But anyway, this is where I live, and if I'm teaching, when you walk in, you can sit here and wait. And that's where all my students do, and there's a bathroom over there. But come in, I'll show you a little bit. This is my only hobby. I collect Italian ceramica. So this is like, you're gonna look like feel like you're in Little Italy a little bit. But come on in. And if that's crowded in there and people are waiting, you can come in here and wait in my living room.
Okay.
And this is my living room, and we face Broadway out there. So as you can see, get a nice shot of some big old buildings of this neighborhood.
Your home is gorgeous.
When I first moved in here, it was so calm and peaceful. And now with Union Square right up the block, it's very, very busy. Have a seat, we can talk. So as you know, I only teach what I call commercial music, and that encompasses R&B, rock and roll, pop, and jazz. I don't teach classical music. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not my forte. So if that is something that you want, I can teach you a method that's going to enhance the power of your voice with those styles of music.
Okay, that's great.
So let me show you where we're actually going to be
The studio.
learning
Okay.
how we're going to do our voice properly without hurting ourselves.
Okay. Can I just say I love your home?
Oh, well, thank you, honey. Thank you. I do love Italy, and I try to make it look like Italy. Except for this room doesn't look like Italy. It looks a little bit more like music.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to be studying. Some of my students have given me their gold and platinum records. This happens to be Scissor Sisters. You know, they're one of the biggest groups in Great Britain right now, and have been actually since, I think since 2004. I just helped them with their recent concert here at Bowery Ballroom. This was the poster. And then they went on a world tour. So, you may not have known this, but I also taught Taylor Swift. Some of my students are over here on this little thing that I have. So Taylor Swift, and here's some Scissor Sisters, and Lucy Woodward, who's just a marvelous, marvelous singer. I've known her since she was 17. She studied with me when I taught at Manhattan School of Music. I taught there for 16 years. And she went on to do some pop things, and now she's a sultry, blues, jazzy, poppy singer. She's just absolutely wonderful. She has a lot of gigs downtown in New York, but she travels all over the country and actually has done a lot of things. And these are some of my students as well. Did you ever hear The Pains of Being Pure at Heart?
No.
They have several albums out there in Sweden right now doing a little tour. And Jimmy Necco happens to be one of my favorite male vocalists. And gosh, he studied with me over 20 years ago, and we still stay in touch. He's wonderful. And the drums too. They have the same manager as The Pains, and they're becoming huge. Also too, starting in Great Britain, and then they come here, and they become big stars here as well. And do you ever watch American Idol?
I do.
Okay, do you remember Cara Dioguardi, the judge from a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
She was a student when she was in her 20s.
No.
And she's one of the finest songwriters that we have today. And don't feel like you have to memorize these, because I do have them on a CD. I'm going to give you a typewritten list of all the exercises. There's 14 in all. Once you know them, they take about 8 or 9 minutes to do. And also, it's really important that they're not just exercises. Yes, they warm us up, but they also tell us every little hint on how to produce our sound correctly, how to hold our jaw, what posture do we take, where do we gain our power from, how do we breathe. So everything that's handled in the exercises, they come up in every song that we sing. So as we go through them, I'm going to tell you what the exercise really means and why we're doing it. We're gonna start first with some basic breathing exercises. Everybody thinks they know how to breathe because that's what we do, right? Walk around and breathe. But when I ask somebody to take a big inhale, take a huge inhale. Let me see you take a big inhale. Everybody does that, and they do that, right? But really, the greatest capacity of air is right here. And our lungs are very narrow up here, but down here, the lung capacity is quite large. So when we breathe, I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So when we breathe, we go like this.
Your stomach goes out.
Yes, and we expand the whole area. That is our maximum amount of air that we can take in is from down here. You've heard of the diaphragm?
Yes.
The diaphragm moves away from the bottom part of the lungs so that the lungs can fill up with air. So, feet apart, because I don't want you to hyperventilate and fall over. I want you to put your hands here on your tummy. We're going to keep the mouth closed. If you notice, I'm only going to breathe through the nose. So we're going to take a big inhale through the nose. Good, and you've expanded. Now hold that. And feel that tummy muscle nice and tight. Good. Now exhale through the nose and let it go in. Yes, and it actually goes in. Just make sure it's through the nose. Everybody wants to exhale through the mouth.
Okay.
So we're going to start this very slowly, and then we're going to go faster and faster and faster, okay? So follow me. It's like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale.